Mic check. What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Drop Podcast. All right. So, hold on, let me get comfortable. It is Christmas Eve for me. Now, you guys will probably get this episode like way later. I think I have like a whole bunch stored up right now. So, I'm trying to think. You guys will get this episode. Let's see, starting Christmas, you will get it. Let's see, I think this is the 11th. So if there's 10 episodes already recorded, and right now you guys are on the 5th. 5th is released. No, 5th will be released. So assuming that it is Christmas whenever the 5th episode is released, which is a good episode, by the way. I talk about what is a creative idea and a few other things, but it was a good episode though. Let's see. So that'll be the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. So you guys will get this episode after 5 more episodes. Yeah. So that means in a week and 2 episodes, you will be caught up with me today at this very current moment, but then you'll be behind by the time you're there because, obviously I'm going to be like along in my process, But man, this is cool. Like, I'm excited. I think like the biggest thing for me is hold on, let me set my timer before I forget, because I always forget. So let's see, 9:15 about right now. We'll set it for, let's do 45 minutes. Because actually, I have something very specific that I want to talk about today. Which is, first things first, I bring up Christmas because I've started my, what is it called? I've started reading into, I started reading because my girlfriend got me this book on child psychology. Well, not child psychology, but like throughout history. Hold on, I should probably take this actually. Hello? Where are you going to come today at 10:30? Okay. Well, what are you thinking? Yeah. I mean, you could probably get like eggs or something. Scrambled eggs. Don't you think? Well, we're leaving at 10:30, so. Oh, okay. True. Good point. Rude. Okay. Well, I think you should come. And if anything, they might have like smoothies or something. It'll just be good to, chill with everybody. But yeah, I mean, you could probably just get like eggs. I think it's a breakfast place. Did you look at the menu? Mhm. Yeah, you could eat pancakes. I think you should come. It'll be fun. Hold on, let me text you what time we're leaving. What was that? No, you could probably ride with us. You could probably just head to the house. Red, I don't know where's. Yeah. So, what do you think? All right, cool. Mhm. Cause you might get sick. Oh, but you can't drive either, right? Oh, did you want to drive then? Yeah, sure. That's cool. We can do that. Mhm. All right. Well, sounds like a plan to me. I'll talk to you later. Bye. I I'm just wearing some khakis and the sweater that you got me. So yeah, yeah. It's Christmas Eve, dude. Yeah. Hopes. All right. Cool. All right. Yeah. All right. Bye. Whoops. Sorry about that. But I was like in the middle of. I had to take the call, but I was in the middle of uh so I didn't want to start over. Um. All right. So, but anyway, before I was rudely interrupted, it's my sister's birthday on Christmas Eve, so and that was my girlfriend. I don't know if you heard anything that she was saying, but if you heard her, that's her. But we're gonna go get some breakfast. So anyway, let me look this up really quick. Where is Melicor? Wait, Chrono Trigger. Where is Meliquire? Present. Whoa, what the heck? Where two fiends reside. He eventually left Medina. Saw the Medina Hacker and Caver began construction. Interesting. Very, very interesting. This is such a well designed story, for real. Alright. 600 a day. Cursed Woods. Time he crafted some things. Alright. But anyway, so I woke up this morning and hold on, I think I was connecting two dots. I forgot what I started off with. Whatever, this will make sense. So I I woke up this morning and I started to read. I was just reading for this book that. Oh, yeah. This is why I was reading it. Because my girlfriend got me this book. And so I was reading for the book this morning. Or from the book this morning. And it's about, like, child development and psychology and whatever else. And then I had I was just reading and they were talking about some ideas. Just for example, they were talking about just like trying to remember. It was about how within like the past 50 or so years, like ever since we got into the 21st century, like child death since age 5 has gone drastically down, and like the rate at which people will die. And just like comparing that to, I guess, like, because it started off talking about like the problems in schooling and and the way this book is designed is it's like asking you intriguing discussion questions, right? Like I think it's written for people who have schools. But anyway, so it was asking me questions on this stuff and just giving me numbers and information. I have a gift for her too. Information on some of that stuff. I guess everyone here's a friend. Oh, never mind. Just given information on like the numbers and one thing that's interesting that I just want to bring up is that people from what is it? Never use okay. People from the West, like Europe and obviously the U.S. You know, these places where I think it's common for or here's what I'll say. I think that there's a correlation between the way that women are treated and the progression of a country. And I was just thinking about like why. And I think it just is because, well, one, that's 50% of your population. So if you let 50% of your population work, that's more money being produced into the economy or more production. Because I think even in the U.S., there's like too little people working already. I think we need more laborers right now. Practicing my swordplay. So then it's like, okay, so if you have more, we'll find it. A then has seen a lad. I guess legendary mushroom is required. I have no right to wield it. Do you even know? But I think the reason though, even besides that, just the fact that you're introducing more production into the economy, because then you have the issue of, okay, well, now you have laborers that are treated worse or less or whatever, just, you know, like still not at the level of your other laborers. Then it's like, okay, so then what do we see whenever we do lessen that, you know? And I think one I think the trend still continues. Like the US has progressed and progressed, and I mean, we just keep becoming a more and more bigger of an economy, and there's that's not the only fault. I do think that there's definitely more. Like it's a way more complicated problem, but I don't know. I guess that's the best case that I have. Like if you introduce more production, you have more trade and more, whatever. But yeah, but then at the same time, just the quality of life. You know what I mean? Because if you're treating your minorities better, then it's like then I mean like that if that's your small, assuming like giving the definition minority like treated worse, like not just like the smallest numbers, but in the U.S., but also like at the same time, the ones with the like most social issues and whatnot. Then it's like, yeah. So if you're treating your worst, well, that's a bad term, but like if you're treating your lesser resource groups with like dignity and stuff like that, then it's like everyone's probably being treated pretty well. You know what I mean? Why would your name be on the sword? A long story. Okay, so anyway, so I was just reading that and the increase in the survival of children, but then at the end the question was, well, like we're educating more children, and there's also this switch whenever you go into like a more put together system. Whenever you have this more put together system, it's like it seems to be that happens whenever you educate your civilians, right? So it's like you're educating your lower, like your children. It seems to be that is a common practice, like the switch from a labor society then is the term that they use, like that switch from laboring to um what is it? From laboring into education. And yeah, so then there's a story about this boy who, and this is in India. So there's this boy that was traveling, or not traveling, but he would go to school with, well, he was being educated, and he would go to school every single day, and I think ended up being like a I don't know, a PhD or whatever. But then you have on his way to school every single day, he would see this kid with his dad, and his dad would be showing him. His dad was a cobbler, and his dad would be showing him every single day. Instead of sending him to school, his dad was showing him how to clean shoes. And so then one day the kid comes up and he asks him. He says, why aren't you, or like why aren't you sending your kid to school, and like why are you instead having your kid do, or like watch you clean shoes. And what he said he says, before me, my dad was a cobbler, my grandfather was a cobbler, and no one has ever asked a question before you. And then he said, we are made to work. So I mean, that's an interesting thing. Remember how I was talking about Ayla? This is it. This is the girl. She kicks butt. So anyway, I think that's particularly interesting because like that is a good question. Should you, because that's a skill, that's education self. So then what's the value in sending your kid to school? And so I was thinking about it and I was like, well, I kind of think that the value of school is that, all right, so breaking down that statement, no one has asked why besides you. Like, no one has asked a question besides you. We were made to work. School, I think, is a place where it puts you in an area where you ask questions. It's a place where you learn how to ask better questions, how to you just collect more information, how to think more critically of things. You know what I mean? So it is a place where you're kind of trying to break down ideas and figure out, why. Ask the big question, I think. And truly get like a genuine understanding of things rather than just accepting the way that things are, which I think people do naturally, which might be why people like it more so than, you know what I mean? Which is why I think it. Well, I'm just trying to make the case of like why it might be like a natural response, or like why we have naturally gone down this path. Because at the same time, if you think about it, like the one who questions, the hero that explores, is probably going to be the one that finds the big animal that they're going to be able to harvest and feed the whole community. Because I know if you look at what is it called? Feral communities, like communities of people that live still like in the woods, or almost as like cavemen, or like hunter gatherer. Like if you go to them, they have culture, right? But their culture is so much different. They're so interested rather than trying to figure out, what, like, I don't know, what is the meaning of life? Their focus is on feeding the community. Like, can I bring the biggest harvest? And that's their proudest moment. If you ask them what their proudest moment is, and I've talked about this before, but if you ask them what their proudest moment is going to be whenever they brought the biggest harvest and fed the whole community. Whenever they made like their first kill, and yeah. Hold on. So Waterman. So good. But yes, I mean that's kind of what I thought. Like why send your kid to school? Because I mean, you're either getting education, to where now I guess you're choosing more so, even though you're still influenced in different ways. Like technically you're choosing. You know what I mean? Like really, a choice is just like there's historical influence, and whether you're happy with that choice or not is based on if you yourself value that choice that you made. Because I mean, really, if you're, it's not like you can make a wrong choice. It's you looking at that choice and thinking, "Ooh, that was the wrong choice," right? Which I don't know. Maybe someone has a rebuttal for it, but but so yeah, so anyway, so I mean, basically, I'm just saying is like no choice is a wrong choice, but then at the same time, so then why is it better for you to be educated in things than not educated? And like I said, I would make the case that it's probably because of the fact that that you learn to ask questions, and that helps you come up with ideas and choices that you can kind of take ownership for, maybe like you feel are like your own, right? But But basically, without getting too deep into it, the value of education, or like why you should send your kid to school, is because it teaches kids how to think more critically and be more conscious and ask better questions. Okay. But anyway, so then after I kind of thought about that, I wrote it down really quick because I've been on this thing where like, oh, you should write down your ideas. Like as soon as you get an idea, you should write it down, because otherwise it's gonna get lost or the meaning in it is gonna change. Because one interesting thing about writing and letters and stuff like that is it's not consistent. You need some form of, well, I mean, I don't mean it's not consistent. I mean that, so it's like you have an idea and you describe it in words, but there's like a depth to it still. Like how do I say this? This is a hard idea to describe. It's like it's like you can't, how do you say it? It's like if I say no, that's kind of like, oh, like he says no. But then if I say no, like that's like, oh, okay, I better back off. And then if I say no, that's like, he's just messing around. Like, no, stop. Or like whenever kids are yelling, help me, whenever they're playing games, like that's games, right? You know what I mean? They love fight reptiles. They're leaders. All are very smart. Give up enough. Meet Chrono today and party sing. But yeah, man. There's LXYB. But so yeah, anyway, so I had this idea, like, well, I didn't have this idea, but yeah, like, so basically I think you should write down your thoughts in that specific moment, or else it's gonna get lost. And not just like the words might still be there, but the meaning in the words might be lost, right? Like the no, and so you kind of have to like describe that too, right? So now I was brushing my teeth and I was just thinking about that, and then that kind of led me to, okay, so like what is an artist then? And really, I think an artist is just someone who creates, right? Someone who creates some type of idea, right? And hold on. Talk to this. But yeah, challenge Ayla. Bring plenty of soup. So eat. Alright. I need to focus, but but yeah, so artist is someone who creates just ideas, and an artist, the way an artist lives life is you're always working on these ideas. So just for example, I listen to I like to listen to Joe Rogan, and he's a comedian, and Joe Rogan's always working on like comedy, right? And he does the same thing. Like, he'll be eating dinner and he'll just go straight to, if he has an idea, he just goes straight to write it down. He'll say, I have an idea, and then he'll go write it down. Because, like he says, too, like, it'll get lost. You know what I mean? And, but anyway, shoot, where's it going? There's something weird whenever I'm doing these episodes. It's like, some days I'm so clicked into the ideas, and then other days I'm not. I think today is like I'm in between. Like, I'm in between these ideas because I have it like all mapped out in my head, right? So it's like I'm telling this story. So, what does it mean to be an artist? An artist is someone who creates ideas. And how to view life as an artist. This is what I want to talk about. So Joe Rogan, just as an example, Joseph, hold on. Ayla's better anyway. But Robo has that roll attack. Anyway, so Joseph has hold on, let me go back. How to view life as an artist. So, this is where I'm going. So, like, whenever Joseph is writing his comedy, it's like he'll have an idea, and then this is what's interesting about a comic is that a comic is always developing and working on these ideas. Pedal and Fang, Sagebow, Stone Arm, interesting. Rockcomb, Ruby Vest, Fang and Feather, Ruby Vest, Flint Edge. Something good. Ruby Vest, strong against fire. Not too hot. Not too hot when wear. Pedal Fang, Horn, Hunting Range. Interesting. Three of each. Venue to item. I give you one weapon. Okay, so try horn. Sagebow, yeah, let's do that. Alright, so real quick, do that, because she's been needing an upgrade, dude, this girl. But anyway, so it's like, whenever he writes his comedy, he's always working on his ideas, right? So he's always producing, working, like, and this is what I like about comedy, though, this is what I was saying, is he's always going through, going through his material, whether it's working on in public, which this is what I'm saying is what I like. Like, even whenever he's doing that stuff, he's working on it with the leaf footprints. He's working on it with his, like, during like sets, like during live shows, and kind of figure out what hits people and stuff and what doesn't, and learning how to say things better and how not to say things and stuff like that. And then also then there's this artist who paints, and I forgot which artist, but he paints, and they always paint in different ways, and so there's two types of painters, right? Well, maybe not. Maybe there's more, but if you're just gonna, just to simplify it, we'll just say there's two types of painters, and there's one painter who is the type where he creates a piece and then he's always working on that piece, always trying to perfect it, always trying to make it better, like similar to comedian. And then there's the artist that just screw it, let's just do it, gets it done, gets it out of the way, creates it, and moves forward. And so but even then, I think that artists, they make that piece, but then they keep making other pieces. So it's like they're just perfecting it in different ways. You know what I mean? So it's like one artist wants to take what he has and perfect it, and I think the other wants to start over almost. And then it's just like, might as well just give this out, and then, next one will be better or whatever. I don't know. I mean, that's just, a perspective that I think, because I think I'm more of the artist where, well, I think I'm different with different things. You know what I mean? Like, I paint sumie and I do music and just stuff. You know what I mean? I do different types of things. But most of all, I just think that either way, it's like I'm still developing and working on these ideas. So then how do you take that and like apply that? Because one thing that I think people struggle with is whenever they have an idea, they run with it as if it's marriage, or at least as if it's like the gospel. You know what I mean? Like, this is the truth and this is it, not even worth questioning ever. And that's a huge mistake. I think you should live your life more like an artist instead. More along the lines of, this is a piece that I have and I'm working on it. I'm trying to make it better. Yeah. And anyway, but so I was thinking about that. And yeah, like how to view life as an artist. And I think that's TED Talk worthy. Like, I'm very proud of that. But even that's an idea. That's an idea that I'm trying to work on. And this is because, me and my life, my goal and my journey is I want to help people to figure out, I guess, who they are more. Well, not even figure out, because I'm kind of at this crossroads, because it's like more like choose to love, I guess, or choose to appreciate life and things that already happen. And that way I think you kind of piece together life in some type of way, and you just kind of get lucky. Like, it's like whatever you're exposed to kind of becomes who you are. And that happens naturally anyways. But at the same time, it's like who you are pieces together into you. And I think people can either enjoy that and appreciate that, which is what my goal is. I want people to enjoy that and appreciate that about themselves. Or you can resent, and you can be upset and angry about it, and you can hate that, So yeah, I think probably more accurately what my target is just to learn to appreciate, you and the things around you. But part of that is working on ideas. And so it's like, oh, you just have, but it's like, way back a few Christmases ago, I got this book on sumie. And even before that, like, I didn't start reading until I was in my senior year of high school. It was whenever I actually started reading. And so it just happens to be that I started reading. I started to appreciate that reading. I found something that I liked about that, that I respected about that. And then that led me to where I am now, where now, I found that book. Well, one, I've been working on ideas anyways, and how to stretch your mind, and part of stretching your mind is doing new things. And so I was trying to figure out, okay, well, how do I do new things? And part of doing new things just happened to involve, I think, take that. Just happened to involve, I think, that aspect of of see, how do I get down there? Just happened to involve well, I mean, that was just one way that I discovered that I could explore, something cool, something new. I just happened to find out about what is it called? I just happened to find out about well, actually, even then it's like a string. It's like a string of experiences. It's like then I found out about, like, I started watching anime again, which is from Dragon Ball Z, which is something that I was into as a kid. So it's like just because I was exposed to that, now I kind of revisited it for some reason. So I'm sure there's a reason even there. So I revisited it, and then I got to kind of where I am now, where now it's like I love this stuff. I watch it all the time, and that's influencing me in a bunch of ways too. That I couldn't even start to try to put a finger on. You know what I mean? Like all these different things that kind of tie into who I am and how I've developed my interests and stuff like that. So. But anyway, these are stuff that I love, and so even this is like I am a working piece, you know what I mean? So, but anyway, but an idea comes from like just like the absorbing of all this information, because even in Sumie, like I'm so lucky that I got that book, and like just now I'm using it. Like that's just like a tool that I had at my disposal. And I just decided right now, well, let's do something different, new, that'll kind of stretch your brain. And I'd been wanting to paint because I love looking at like Earth and being like, wow, that's so beautiful. But then at the same time, I love simplicity, and I love the simplistics of like that Japanese style sumie type of art. And so just from that information, I got that idea like, oh, there's something that I might want to try. So then I tried it. Like I said, now I love it. Now I've genuinely, I love doing sumie. So then this is something that I'm now working on, that I'm trying to grow and become better at. But yeah, anyway, so like, yeah, like what is an idea? Something that hits you, and you're always working on perfecting it, I guess. Like something that, well, I don't know. I don't have a good answer for it, but it's something. You know what I mean? It's something that you're just always working on, always perfecting, and always growing, always trying to create into a better thing, right? But anyway, and then I guess even to top that, then how does this help? I think this helps because like this idea of rather than getting attached to these things that just because of experiences in your life, like the point in the experiences in life thing is you might as well just appreciate what you have. You know what I mean? Appreciate what you have, because like you're just lucky. You weren't given that, and I don't think anyone looks at their life like, oh, this is, I wish I was somebody else. And if you do, I mean, that's really sad. But anyway, but like I do think you should learn to appreciate, the life that you have been given, and the blessings that you have received. You know what I mean? And like the blessing of that Sumie book, just for example, you know what I mean? And then what it could do for you. Like now it's something that I'm learning about. There's a whole philosophy to Sumie that I'm experiencing and learning about that I'm also applying now to my life. So it's like if life is just like one big work in progress, one big art piece in progress, That's what an idea is. An idea is an art piece in progress. Okay. And I think that helps you because it's like, one, like what are some of the biggest struggles in life? Like people, well, one, with their ideas, and people get stubborn and stuck to these ideas. Okay, so the way you eliminate that is if you view it more like something that you're always perfecting instead of something that's already figured out, you know? Yeah, man. So I know that. I'm proud of that. This all was just like designed this morning. And, back to my original statement, like, yeah, like I really think that um the how do I put this? I really believe that the best dang, this sucks. Shoot. It's like the best thing that you could really do for you is to expose yourself to things and ideas, and I'm about to run out of time. I don't know, man. I don't know, but this is a good conversation though, and I'm really glad I had it. Here's what I was saying. I think that like one thing that I've noticed is just in the production of ideas is if I start off my day with my brain firing, on something, like if I start off my day with an idea being created, or not an idea being created, but questions being introduced to me, then I think it helps me, think better, because now I feel like I'm more articulate right now. Like, I don't know, well, articulate in my mind. Like I feel like I'm more in touch with my head. You know what I mean? Maybe not so much my mouth, but I don't know. But even this, like, I'm getting better at this, and I'm developing in this for sure. Like this is one of those times where like my mind has been a fuzz a few times in this episode. And it always takes me probably about like a whole episode to really click into myself. But I think I've gotten better at doing that. Like even right now, like I feel like my brain is just like on fire right now. Like I'm exactly where I should be. But like a little bit in my head, I think is a little bit squabbled. And I think that's just the best way that I can put that. I'm a little bit squabbled in my head, but that's cool. But anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead, defeat this guy, heal up. But with this all being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode of the Drop Podcast. I really think this is one of my best. Like this is, if I can just take this idea, keep working on it, and perfect it, like I think this could be TED Talk worthy. Like if I turn this into a speech, kind of like how what's his face does. Forgot his name. Is it what is his name? I think it. Is it Simon Sinek? Simon Sinek. I really think that I could take it, to that level. You know what I mean? If I just keep perfecting it, because I mean, like I said, like ideas are just a collection of inspirations and things. You know what I mean? But anyway, so I guess this all being said, I'm gonna check you guys later. If you want to support this podcast, one way that you can do that by is okay. Well, one way that you could support this podcast is by I should have healed up. I totally forgot. Leave him alone. No, that's our heavy hitter. Oh, we're screwed. We're screwed if I get attacked, we're screwed. Oh shoot. Come on. Come on, man. Come on. There we go. Yeah, but if you want to support this podcast, you can go to joshuatbryan.com, and there's a place on there where you can donate. That's just if you want to. It's if you scroll all the way down at the bottom, and then also I think if you click on like the 3 bars at the top right corner, you can find a place where it says donate. But I mean, that'd be awesome. But really the best way, and I always say this, the best way that you can support this podcast is to simply just watch or either watch or share with, whoever is in your circle. You know what I mean? All that is just, definitely appreciated and something that would help me out a lot. All right, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I hope you found some value. And this all being said, I will check you guys next time. See ya.